Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 167 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. A lot happier this week. I think everyone, not just us, general fan base, feel a lot sort of calmer now. I haven't seen any Parky out this week.
I was literally about to say all the Parky out army have been very quiet this weekend.
Very quiet, yeah. So, it's interesting, isn't it? Our one game, bang. Changed instantly. It's everyone's gone quiet on that one. But yeah, it's a good week. It's always nice. I think it makes your weekend when Wrexham win. Well, it does for me anyway. I think and spend
that made no sense.
Spend what?
It always makes your weekend.
It always makes your weekend. Yeah.
You said weekend win. When Wrexham win. You said win quite a few times then.
I don't know. I think that made sense.
Well, in your little head, maybe.
Maybe it did, yeah. It always makes your weekend when Wrexham win.
That's better.
Okay, all right. I don't know what I said first time.
That's better grammar. Well done.
Thank you. What's coming up on this week's show?
Well, on this week, we are going to discuss our league meeting with Norwich on Saturday, obviously. We're going to discuss Wrexham's final problem. And look ahead to our two games this week. So we've got a cup game and a league game this week. Our EFL, which obviously is with Reading, which is the third round of the EFL Cup. And we're also going to talk about our league game against Derby, which is on Saturday at home. And also, boo the quiz.
And the quiz, yeah. We'll talk about Leicester first. So tickets went on sale last week. We were very lucky, straight on, got our tickets, happy with that. Another quite expensive-ish ticket, I would say. So they were £35 for adults. So our son's coming with us, he's 13. It was nice to see, unlike some of the clubs Leicester did, a tiered child option. So there was under 18s, there was under 16s, and I think there was under 12s maybe as well. So that's I think that's always nice when you've got the tiered sort of options for kids, but still quite expensive, isn't it? £35.
The thing that makes it, I believe, that makes fans a bit annoyed. I mean, obviously the away games, they release tickets sort of sporadically, whereas the home games for the ballot, they release them literally 5 at a time. And for people who don't have a season ticket, when you put in for, 5 games and you are lucky enough to get all of the 5 games in the ballot, that's quite an expensive thing. But what you need to be mindful of that, I suppose. If you've put in for five games, home games, then you need to be mindful that you are possibly going to get all 5 of those games. So yes, it is going to be expensive, but I can understand, how it can be expensive. I think, how much is an adult ticket? 26, is it, for an adult?
Something like that. Yeah. We're around that. I know that's what we're charging away fans at the moment. So yeah, we must be around that. I suppose it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's quite a valid point. It's a lot of money to be shelling out all at once. Yeah. And the argument is, well, if you're putting in for 5, you have to expect to be winning 5. But obviously, we're well aware people are winning none, and they're winning something in between. So because people are aware that you're not, the likelihood is you're not going to get them all. So people are going in for 5. Hoping to get 1 or 2, but then there is the sort of risk of going, you've got all 5, and it's like, which that's great because I get to go to 5 games, but now I've got to shell out for 5 lots of tickets, maybe.
That's just one, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one person. If you've got a family of 4 as well, I suppose that all of a sudden you're staring down the barrel of playing quite a few hundred pound. And I think that is the sort of downfall of the ballot system, isn't it? Because you can't, if you were to say, I want to go to that game and I've got the money for that game, but if I don't get that game, I want that game, and it's
you
such
just want a game.
Yeah, I know it is a weird scenario, but look, we're happy. I'm happy that we're going to Leicester.
There was a bit of panic on my side though, because obviously
I made you panic on purpose.
You did make me panic because obviously, as you all know, me and Ryan both work full time, and not in the same place anymore. So obviously, when Ryan's working, he can't have his phone. So Dave, who I work with, came up to me and he was like, "Oh, have you got your tickets for Leicester?" And I was like, "Oh my God." It was like 10:20. I was like, "Oh my God." I said, I forgot to remind Ryan to get the tickets. But then I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to try and get 3 tickets for the 3 of us. So I did it, and then it wouldn't let me buy them. And I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? It's because when I went into my transaction history, and it said to me, you can't buy more, because I was trying to assign them to you and Alfie.
Yeah.
You can't, you have reached your
limit
client quota, it said.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then I realised then, Dave said, go into your transaction history, and it said you have been forwarded or assigned a ticket for Leicester. And I was like, whoo, for you. So I sent Ryan a message and I deleted it quickly because obviously he'd been a good boy.
I'd done what I said I was going to do.
Yeah, but sometimes you can never be sure with you. So
well, I bought them. We've got them. We're really happy.
It's a Tuesday night game, so it's going to be you're up at 4:00 the next day.
Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? You just sometimes you got to do it. It's only a couple of hours away. It was one our son was really excited about going to.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in the Southampton game. We felt like we'd gripped him, and he'd got really excited about watching Wrexham, and he wants to go to Leicester. He's been to all the home games so far this season,
which is unheard of for Alfie.
It is. He's been very sporadic in the past.
He's very fickle,
hasn't
our son.
Yeah, he is. Look, moving on, we're going to talk about something very quickly. We got an email last week. We were told to not share this information because the news was confidential. We weren't allowed to share it until Monday. So on our part, it feels a little bit naughty to be doing it because obviously we record on a Sunday and we've been told we have to keep it confidential until Monday. But obviously this podcast comes out at 6 p.m. on a Monday. So we're sort of just hoping that we're okay to discuss this, and I think we are based on the information we've been given.
Well, if they don't have an episode on Monday, we know why, because we'd have to pull it.
Yeah, we'd have to pull it because we're talking about this, or there might be some really weird edit in this where literally about now it'll just cut off and then we'll start talking about something else. But I don't think so. So we got this email last week. Which basically said, congratulations, I'm thrilled to share that you have been successful in making the final shortlist this year in the Football Content Football Content Awards 2025. The category you are shortlisted in is Best Podcast Football League. Please keep this news confidential until we officially announce the finalists on Monday. Which is obviously why we're talking about it now, because this comes out hopefully after that. So our esteemed panel of over 40 judges carefully reviewed 1,500 entries from 29,000 nominations. Winners will be decided by a combination of 50% judge votes, 50% fan votes. Fan voting will open on Monday, the 22nd of September at midday. And it will close on the 12th of October. So
this is where we need you guys.
It is indeed. So we've sort of looked back. So obviously there was 1,500 entries into this from sort of nominations from various places. And we've
from 29,000 nominations.
No, so 1,500 podcasts have been entered into this. Based on 29,000 nominations. So some of the nominations have been duplicates of other nominations where people have thrown it in. So So yeah, we're very excited. We had a look into last year's awards, and the shortlist was actually 12. So I think we've actually gone from 1,500 down to the final 12 shortlist. I'm a little unsure because we haven't really seen anything at the moment. So yeah, we're really happy about it.
Excited.
Really excited. There is an awards ceremony at Elland Road in November. Is it November or late October? So we're looking at maybe going. I don't know. It's sort of got sprung on us a little bit, but not sure. But we will.
Be a great opportunity, though. Wouldn't it?
But we'll wait and see. We'll give you a bit more information on that. If we should have the details by the time this comes out, not necessarily on the podcast, but on YouTube, we should have the information in time. If you have a look in the description, there will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, details of how you can actually vote for us.
I'll do posts on social media and everything as well.
Yeah, failing that, check our social media. Shan will sort all that out, and you'll be able to vote for us. And we would really appreciate your votes. It's we are really excited. So
this is sort of an award for you guys as well, really.
Yes,
because without you, we wouldn't be doing this.
No, not at all.
It'd be pointless just talking to ourselves every week.
So we're really excited, and obviously we'll probably talk a little bit more about it next week and every week until the voting closes. But just to give you a bit more of a rundown, how many are in the running, all that sort of thing, and we'll talk a bit more about it when we know more next week. So let's talk about Norwich, I suppose.
So the lineup, there were a few changes. I believe 3 or 4 changes from the QPR game. Yeah. So we had Okonkwo in goal. We had Cleworth, Hyam instead of Cody, and Doyle in the back 3.
I think Hyam coming in isn't a huge shock. There was a lot of criticism that came Connor Cody's way after the QPR game.
Yeah.
Some rightly, some wrongly. But it was a change that I'd sort of expected. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was a huge shock to anyone that Hyam had come in. Very accomplished and experienced centre-back, especially in the Championship. So, no, not a huge shock that he'd come in.
Okay, and then on the right...
Correct.
Was Issa Kabore. Issa Kabore, and on the if you saw the team sheet being released, he has a hat on.
I know,
which I've never seen before.
It's so mad.
It is a bit weird. I think he's very individual, and I think he's like, he knows what he wants, and he's very like, no, I'm going to wear my hat. So, like it or lump it. So, yeah, we had Kabore on the right. We had Longman on the left.
Yeah.
So no change from Longman, but obviously McLean was on the bench and Kabore was in for him. And then we had, instead of Matty James, we had Sheaf, Dobson and O'Brien. And then we had Windass just behind Kiefer Moore, and obviously Kiefer Moore up front.
Yeah. Windass captain.
No, do you know what? I think I'm in love with Josh Windass. I think he's just so like, do you know what though? I was a bit like,
You're fickle, innit? Football, you have your favourites, and then you were gutted when Luke Young left, and you think, I will never have a favourite again. And then it's like, oh, James McLean's here, and then, oh, he's my favourite. Oh, James McLean's not playing. I'll never have a favourite again. And it's like, I think I'm in love with Josh Windass.
But I'll always know
that encapsulates how fickle a fan base are. That you are absolutely distraught when a player leaves or when a player isn't playing anymore. But you do move on from it very quickly. Not you specifically. Every football fan moves on very quickly.
I think Dobbo, though, I love Dobbo. I love his cockney little walk that he does. I love his little run. I think because Dobbo came from Charlton, didn't he?
He did. Sort of. He'd agreed a move to a team in, I think, Hungary or somewhere like that. He'd agreed, so he'd left Charlton. He agreed to move to Hungary. He was moving all his family out there. And then it sort of the deal sort of collapsed a little bit, and then we ended up signing him.
Let's just say he's from Charlton, because this is what I'm about to say wouldn't have any effect. But yeah, obviously, if you've been watching the podcast for a long time, although I'm a Wrexham fan through and through, Charlton Athletic has a little tiny place in my heart because of my granddad. He used to play for the Charlton Reserves before the war. So I think that's why I like Dobbo, because he's, he used to play for them, and I just think he's a really nice guy. Oh, but there's also Rathbone as well. Oh my God. Anyway, let's talk about the Norwich game, because I could be here forever talking about my favourite players.
Look, so Windass captain, he's probably the third or fourth person to have the armband this season.
Good choice, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a good experience there. I sort of felt like if Cody was going to be in the team week in, week out, I sort of felt like it would fall on his shoulders to be captain. Based on what we've seen just this weekend, I'm not 100% sure that's going to be the case. So someone like Josh, when he's fit, that's who you're going to see wearing the captain's armband, I think.
I think, like last season, we had, James McLean was the captain, and he was pretty much the captain, all the way through. Yeah. And I believe he still is the captain, but obviously when he's on the bench, and, if Sheaf keeps playing, not Sheaf, sorry, if Kabore keeps playing, which after Norwich I think he probably will, you can't really give that kind of accolade to somebody who's on the bench.
Kabore plays on the opposite side. So you're talking about... So Kabore's on the right, McLean's on the left. So they're the opposite side. So Longman was
whatever happened, Longman or Kabore.
Yeah.
And when Kakache comes back,
I can't see McLean getting many minutes. No. I feel like Longman is quite suited to the left. Mm-hmm. I liked him on the left, although he didn't get a lot of the ball on Saturday, but we'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. I can't see McLean getting many minutes this season, and hopefully when Libby's back from this injury, it's the last of it, and he gets a decent run of games, because I think Kabore on the right and Kakache on the left is hopefully going to be a deadly combination for us. But we like you say, we got Longman slotting in there, and I think he did very well on the weekend.
Kabore slotting in there, you mean? I said Kabore did slot. He came in and he did really well.
Yeah, I'm talking about the left-hand side now. You're getting confused with your left and right.
I'm not. I just because Longman used to play on the right when
I know.
Was on the left.
That's what I mean. You're getting confused with your left and right.
Okay.
So I think we've got that. Captain-wise, we've got a few on the pitch, which is always good. I think it doesn't necessarily always matter who has got the armband.
Yeah.
You got Ben Sheaf in there, who's very much sort of captain quality. Dom Hyam, captain quality. Connor Cody, I think they're probably either or who's going to play. That could be your captain as well. You could even give it to someone like Kiefer Moore, who's captained Wales before in the past. We've got a lot of captains on the pitch, I would say. Yeah, on the ship.
On the ship.
100%. So Ben Sheaf gets his first start as well, which I'm really happy about. We've talked about this sort of for a few weeks now, where it felt like that was the natural transition to Matty James sort of making his way out of the team and Ben Sheaf making his way in. Yeah. I thought he was superb on Saturday. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go through the game. But
so the subs were Burton, Brunt, Cody, James, Barnett, McLean, Broadhead, Thomason and Smith.
Really good to see, obviously, Windass back, huge positive. Mm-hmm. Thomason, actually making his way into the matchday squad because of the injury picked up in the summer. That was really positive as well. Broadhead's obviously back, sitting on the bench, but lots of positives now. And I think we have to remember when we had a lot of this Parky out stuff, Parky hadn't really played the team that he'd signed during the summer at any point, so it was always a bit premature to be talking about that. But yeah, very strong team. It looked good. Strong bench. I was happy. I was happy with what I saw on the bench, and we started the game really well. There was a guy called Topic who played in defence for them. And there was a bit of an incident early on, wasn't there, where he sort of went over and he sort of grabbed at the ball a little bit. He got a yellow card for it. And I remember you looking over at me going, I thought his name was Topic.
I did. I could, because when they were like, obviously, I wasn't listening to when they were revealing the names of the Norwich team. And when he came on the pitch, I didn't see the little accent over the C either, which obviously changes the pronunciation of that C. So I thought, oh, he's cool. He says Topic. But no. What's his name? Topic.
Topic. Yeah, Topic.
There was lots of itches, wasn't there?
Lots of itches.
There was lots
yeah,
of
there
was
were
one
lots
in
of
goal.
itches. Yeah. From that, we got a free kick. It was Lewis O'Brien who took that. Good save from the goalkeeper. He was another itch as well, wasn't he? I can't remember his name now. But anyway.
I just said that.
What? Sorry?
The goalkeeper was called
did you
Itch.
say the goalkeeper? It was called Itch. He wasn't called
Another
Itch.
itch.
He was another itch, yeah. Windass hit the post just after that. Moore went clean through not long after, and he sort of got stuck in his feet a little bit, tried to take it round the defender. Keeper
A lot of people said that
Yeah.
he should have scored that.
He
probably should have scored that. But if you're going to get caught on your feet, you're going to get caught on your feet, aren't you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he probably should have done better. At least got a shot off, I think, at that point. And then it's sort of felt a little bit out of the blue. I remember Norwich went through. I think it was Diallo. He took it round Arthur, but went a little bit wide. Ball came back in, Hyam cleared it really well. But that was a bit of a red flag, really, because they went another ball through Jack Stacey. And he was clean through, one-on-one with Arthur, slotted it under Arthur, and we were 1-0 down. And it sort of felt out of the blue. I felt like up to that point we were the better team. Yeah. I think you might have Norwich fans arguing that maybe not, and it was quite equal at that point. But I felt quite confident up until when they scored, because I felt like we were the better team, and I felt like there was goals. But I don't ever worry that we haven't got goals in us. I'd be more worried if we weren't creating chances, but we are. We are creating chances. And so I'm never too worried that, okay, as long as it stays 1-0, we're going to get some goals, because I think we've definitely got that in us. Was it offside? Was it not? We saw an angle, didn't we? It was so tight. And it was, I think it was Max sort of was a little bit too deep. Ball came through. It was tight. I think it was one of them. If you had VAR in the Championship, it would have been looked at, and it was very close. I'm glad we haven't got VAR in the Championship. I don't really like VAR, and I would always like to give the advantage to the attacking team, even though in this instance it was to our detriment. I like the attacking team having the advantage of is it, isn't it? If you're not sure if it is or it isn't by line of sight, just give the advantage to the attacking team, because otherwise you're chalking off goals left, right and centre, I think. So 1-0 down. Was Arthur a bit hesitant when that ball was played through?
Well, like if you watched our lives yesterday, I mentioned it in the preview of the match, saying that he's got to stick to his convictions and not be hesitant. But yes, I think he was a bit hesitant in some of the moves that he made. And I think that he was, at that point when Norwich scored, I think he was hesitant. And I think that was obviously detrimental to us, wasn't it? It kind of went. I think looking at the way that he reacted after that goal went in, I think you can sort of tell that he was frustrated with himself, and he thought, you know what? I think he sort of picked himself up. Well, I say he picked himself up. They scored another goal, didn't they, in the second half? But I think he did all right. He did better than he did at Queen at the home game at the weekend before at
QPR.
QPR.
Yeah, I do worry his hesitancy a little bit, but it is what it is. We'll talk about Arthur in a bit.
A lot of people are calling for Callum Burton to be back in between the sticks when we play Derby on Saturday.
Yeah, well, like I say, we'll talk about Arthur a bit more in a bit. But yeah, so 1-0 down. I don't know. I think Kabore looked good in the first half. There was a lot going through him, and I was very pleased with what I saw from him in the first half. Although nothing really seemed to come off for him in that first half. He was trying to find his range. I remember there was a couple of crosses that he put in. One was roughly in the right area, but there was nobody there. He played one along the floor into Kiefer Moore, and it was a little bit too far in front of him. But we've talked about this before. New players understanding if you're playing balls into the striker, how does the striker move? Where does the striker like the ball to be played, and all that sort of stuff. It's a very much a learning curve, isn't it? 1-0 down at half time. I wasn't
bothered.
No, like we said before, it's the old Wrexham mantra. We don't look at our place. We're playing some nice stuff. We look like we belong. We're 1-0 down. That's fine. And yeah, it just feels like you're doing that all the time.
I saw somebody put on Twitter at half time saying like it's just like the good old days. 3:45 and Wrexham are losing. And he just put thanks Wrexham, but obviously,
yeah, it switched around. Obviously,
it did.
We took Callum Doyle off. Well, we didn't. Parky took Callum Doyle off at half time. It was probably the right decision. He was on a yellow. He had flown in for another challenge. He got the ball, but a millisecond later, and he might have missed it, and we might have been down to 10. So it's probably the right thing.
I like the fact that he did that, though.
Yeah, he struggled with a couple of things as well.
No, I like the fact that Parky took him off at half-time.
Yeah, I do. I like him saying he struggled with a few things.
Yeah.
He got caught once or twice with balls in behind him. And I wouldn't say he looked... I'm not saying he looked off it, but, being on a yellow, I think it was the right thing. And we've got a ready-made replacement in Lewis Brunt who can come in and we know can do a job in the Championship because he played sort of 4 games prior to Callum Doyle coming in. So, it was the right decision to make, and I was happy with that. We needed an early goal in the second half, I feel like, to redress the balance and to have something to sort of grab onto and to build on. Sheaf with a amazing ball out wide to Kabore. It was one of the weirdest goals I'd seen because the ball went out wide. Like I said, it was an amazing crossfield pass from Sheaf. Kabore got it, and I was like, Windass was just all on his own, like completely all on his own in the middle. There was no defender anywhere near him. I think one thing that maybe hasn't been discussed enough, it was a fantastic first-time cross from Kabore. He saw Windass all on his own and he thought, I've got to hit this first time, and he did. Whipped it in absolutely perfectly.
A curve on it.
Lovely cross.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there as the ball was coming in and I could see Josh Windass's body shape, and I was like, don't hit that first time, mate. You've got loads of time. Control it, and you can and finish it. Don't hit it first time, but he did. And fair play, great finish. Very happy with the finish. But yeah,
well, obviously because it was a goal.
Yeah, but there was a bit of panic in me going, oh, don't hit it first time. You've got loads of time. But I haven't seen like it. It was so bizarre. Kabore in acres of space. First time cross. Windass in acres of space as well. But we were back in it, and I think that was exactly what we needed.
Yep. I think it's what the fans needed as well, to be honest.
Yeah, just calm down, reset. Right, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back all square, and we push on again. There was we suddenly felt like we were on top then, because There was a ball played through Lewis O'Brien, one-on-one with the keeper. Keeper made a brilliant save. That was almost 2-1. A few minutes after that, Kabore again down the right, ball into the middle, sort of missed everyone. Another first-time hit, more difficult than the Windass one. Longman hit it first time, keeper unsighted, dived late, 2-1, and it was like, where's that come from?
That's Longman's first goal, isn't it, for the since he started playing with us?
Nope, he scored last season.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so it's his first goal of the season. But yeah, he has scored for us before. So yeah, 2-1, and I was like, completely turned it around in the first 10 minutes of the second half. So, and it just sort of felt like it was all us. Lewis,
he was so unlucky, wasn't he, on Saturday?
Lewis O'Brien, yeah, he had another one. So he had the free kick in the first half. He had that one where he was one-on-one. Keeper made a great save. You could argue maybe he should have scored that. And then all of a sudden, it just felt like Norwich crumbled completely. We were passing it around. A ball came to Lewis. I think it was Kabore, sort of just passed it sideways to Lewis O'Brien. And he had just the time to control it, move it out of his feet, and he hit it, I think, any other height, and it probably goes in, but it was just a perfect height for the keeper.
Yeah.
Just to parry it away. And yeah, it just felt like I just felt so comfortable at that point. I think from a corner, it ended up out wide. I think it was maybe Cleworth who was out wide on the opposite side. Windass took the corner. It ended up on the far side. I think ended up with Max. Max crossed it again, overhit it. It came all the way back over to Windass, who'd taken the original corner. And defender, again, I don't think really covered himself in glory. Just let Windass dribble at him a little bit. Put it out to his right-hand side and curled a shot right in the... not right in the top corner, but lovely goal again. Make it 3-1. And I remember you turned to me when he scored and you just went, "We've missed him." Didn't you? You went, "We've missed him." In that creepy voice as well.
We have missed him. And the fact that he came back after four games absent and, you know, got a brace and, you know, had the captain's armband, I think he's just you know, he's just, I was going to say detriment, but that's not the word. Yeah, it is the word. Detriment to him as a player and an experienced player and a you know, a very good professional footballer. You know, he's just not, you know, he does what he does on the pitch. And yeah, I was listening to his interview afterwards, and he was just like, you could just see that he was chuffed.
Yeah.
To be back on that pitch, to be scoring goals, doing what he loves, and you know, the fact that he's doing it for us is just even better.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. I did see, we watched a bit of a match day vlog, didn't we, of a Norwich fan this morning. And he basically said, he was like, what, Windass will score. Because he was like, he always scores against us. So, you know, yeah, players tend to have that, don't they? They have clubs that they always seem to score against. And obviously, yeah, they, you know, scored two. Do you think you'd be a little bit gutted he didn't get a hat-trick?
Oh my God, I was literally about to say I'm really gutted that he didn't get a hat-trick. I am really gutted for him. It would have been nice for him to get, but even a brace, even one goal, you know, after being absent for so long.
Yeah, just to get him back up and running.
You're back on the, you know, into a winning streak. I just think that, yeah, I am gutted a little bit, but I'm not like, oh my God, poor Windass. You know, he got two goals, got a brace, back after 4 games after being injured. Like, you know, you said before, I said that we'd missed him. We had missed him, definitely. Yeah. And I think now that he's back, I don't want to be too optimistic, but I kind of feel like, actually, sod it, I'm going to be optimistic. I think this will be the turnaround for Wrexham, and it's what we need.
Yeah, I think so. I think we realised how much you're dead right. I think we realised on Saturday how much we'd missed a player like that. Not not him necessarily, but just a player in that mould.
Yeah.
Who's going to do that and make things happen, and has the ability to score goals, has the ability to create, and it's just a nuisance for other teams. It's just what we have missed, definitely 100%. We did well at keeping them at bay for the rest of the game. I think we didn't, it was one of their players had a chance with 10 minutes to go, a header about 6 yards out, and he put that over. They scored late on. I think it was the 92nd minute. I think they scored.
Unlucky.
I don't think it was unlucky.
I don't. I mean, unlucky for us. I mean, not for them. Obviously.
Yeah, but I don't know. My point is, I don't think it was unlucky for us. I think we orchestrated that ourselves. I mean, there was I can't remember the guy who had the original shot, but he sort of turned inside somebody and it just sort of sent him for a hot dog sort of thing, and then he hit it, and Arthur again. I mean, he's gone down for it. He's gone to hold it and he's dropped it. But for me, in a situation like that, where the ball's bouncing just in front of you, he's parried it back into the middle of the goal, which is, for me, it's like, just get it away. If you're not going to catch it and hold it, then big, strong hands away from the danger area. But he put it right back into the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna dwell on that too much, but I felt like it was a little bit of an error that's led to that second goal. He should have held it. Secondly, if he's not holding it, then he needs to be pushing it away. And he's done neither of them things, unfortunately. And they've come back, and it was a little bit of a nail biter, wasn't it? Right at the end, they had one little chance that they sort of spooned over the bar. But I think he was offside anyway. But it was a little bit nerve-wracking. But we saw the game out. 3 points. I did see a little clip on X. There was, when they have the pitchside reporters at games, and it was the Sky Sports pitchside reporter when we had just equalised, and when they sort of went to him. He said about Parky, he said he's making Route 1 football sexy again.
I think that's what we need. It's been a long, when we were in the National League and League One and League Two, or the other way around, League Two, then League One, we were playing sexy football, and it was, it was nice to watch, but then sort of, maybe not so much in League One, actually.
I think we've always been accused of big man up front, get the ball, hoof it forward for the big man to take it down. I think we've always been accused of Route 1 sort of, hoof ball. I think we've been accused of over the last few years. Very much like that first goal for Josh Windass, very much Route 1. But I think I would agree with that sort of sexy Route 1 football. It was like a raking crossfield pass from Ben Sheaf, a first-time ball into the box and a first-time finish. That for me is that. Yes, that's Route 1 football. That is literally from our own half. That is 3 touches. I've taken it all the way out wide, all the way back into the middle, and into the back of the net. That to me, yes, that's Route 1, but that is
sexy Route 1.
Sexy Route 1, and I would 100% agree with that. After the game, I've got to applaud Wrexham admin on social media, because they did an Alan Partridge tweet, which I sent out in our little group. Brilliant. So anyone who doesn't, I'm not going to dwell on it, just in case a lot of you might not know who Alan Partridge is, but yeah. But it was sort of like it was a character played by Steve Coogan. He did it in the 90s and then sort of reprised it later on for a few things.
For Norwich Radio, wasn't it?
He used to, so the character used to work on Radio Norwich, basically, and it was brilliant. So bravo to whoever did that at Wrexham. During our live as well, I don't know if there's a song that is actually out there, but Steve Barton mentioned on our live that Kabore needs his own song, and it should be to the tune of Amore.
That's amore, yeah.
Yeah, and he said when the cross is perfect and the ball hits the net, that's Kabore.
Oh my God, I think we'll start singing that on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know if Steve's picked that up from people are already singing that, or whether he's come up with that himself. But yeah, brilliant. And I think that definitely needs to be his song.
Let's get singing it on Saturday.
Man of the match for you. Who would you pick? There's obviously, I think we can not mess about here. It's between two, isn't it?
Kabore and Windass.
Yes. So out of them two, who would you, in your opinion, who would you pick?
Purely because he's been injured, he's come back, and he's scored a brace. I think I'm going to have to give it to Windass, but Kabore is like so close.
Yeah.
But Windass for me, I think.
I agree. Let's move on. Kent said, clean sheet is a bridge too far at the moment, but solid win today for the mighty Red Dragons. Yeah, maybe it is. And I think the defence is going to take a little bit more time to understand each other. Remember, it was Hyam's first game as well, so it is going to take a little bit of time to understand. With the defence as well, you all have to be completely in sync with the line that you're playing. And I think we saw the downfall of that on Saturday when a ball went through and Max got caught a little bit deeper than the other defenders playing him on side. So that will take a little bit of time, but I'm not overly concerned at the moment. I suppose it is a little bit of a negative that even though we've played really well and we've dominated large parts of that game, we've still ended up conceding 2. I suppose that is a negative if you're looking at it from the defensive point of view. But having said that, that will come, and I'm confident. We've got some very good defenders, and even if one or two of them aren't quite on their game, we've got people to come in, and so that will come. That will come.
Marie from SoCal, I tried to come up with something pithy to say about the win, but the only thing I could come up with is thank God. Hugh561, I was very pleased for Phil Parkinson.
Yeah,
I
think so. I think it's, there was so many, especially the higher up the pyramid you get, the media is all over you a bit more. I don't think that's anything new for us. The media have been all over us for years. But I agree with Hugh's sort of comment there that I felt a bit pleased for Phil as well, because the amount of sort of like absolute garbage news stories, which are just obviously clickbait, the Steven Gerrard story, the Darren Ferguson story, Phil Parkinson's in trouble, he's under pressure, all that sort of stuff.
And of course he's under pressure.
Yeah, but, it was so prevalent in sort of news that we even discussed it on last week's podcast. Do you know what I mean? Because we have to discuss the stuff that everyone else is talking about. Yeah. That's the point of a podcast. Mm-hmm. But even when you're discussing it, you're sort of like, you just want to. So my point is, I was happy for Phil. I was happy for Phil on Saturday that he's sort of gone, look, everyone calm down. I've got this.
Trust in Parky, we trust.
So I said we were going to talk about him a little bit more. We have talked about him quite a bit already, but Arthur Okonkwo, I'm going to disregard the first goal and say that I felt like he was a little hesitant, and I felt like he stayed a little bit too far back. I didn't want him to go racing out of his box, but I sometimes feel when he's in a one-on-one situation, perhaps he doesn't close the angle down enough. Another step or two would do that, and I think so he's not a million miles off, but sometimes I feel he's a little bit too deep, and I feel like he plays on the edge of fear a little bit, and he looks fearful at times about, especially when he's in situations where should he come or should he stay, and I don't think he's quite learnt his limitations.
Song, isn't it?
Yeah, it is The Clash. Yeah. But yeah, I've got a Clash tattoo on my arm as well. But anyway, so yeah, I think he is getting caught in two minds a little bit at the moment. And the second goal, I felt we've obviously discussed that. He should have held it, or if he wasn't going to hold it, push it away. Mm-hmm. So I suppose the question here is, I sort of said in our pre-game, I felt like maybe Arthur was a bad 90 minutes away from Callum Burton playing against Derby.
Yes.
Am I right, or am I being too harsh there? Based on what we then saw after that at Norwich, I don't feel like I was being too harsh. It sort of felt like he was on the cusp of not playing the next league game. And I'm not sure he covered himself in glory at Norwich to go, actually, it's okay, I've got this. So what do you think's going to happen against Derby?
I think Okonkwo will play.
Okay.
I do. I believe he will, because I think Callum will play against Reading on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do think that... Yeah, I think that he'll just kind of have belief in him and, you know, I don't know. It's a really tough one because you don't want to give up on your... You know, at the end of the day, he's meant to be our number one goalkeeper. And, you know, since the season started, we've had Danny Ward in... not Danny Windass, as I said yesterday. Danny Ward, but obviously he's out injured now with an elbow injury. So I think for him to bring in Callum Burton, I think it would just, I don't know, I just think it would knock his confidence even more, and I don't think that is something that will be beneficial to Arthur. I think he
maybe
needs,
not.
Yeah, I just think he needs that consistency and maybe give him, because it's so early on in the season as well. It's not like
it's hard for him to improve and put things right if he's
not playing.
playing.
And I think Parky said exactly that, not about Arthur specifically, but in his post-match interview, he said that how do you see a player improving if they're not getting minutes? And, it's the same for Arthur.
Yeah, but we have talked about this before. Harry Ashfield, we had this conversation.
Yeah.
How is he seeing him improving? And, if he's not playing him, who he didn't even make the bench on the weekend. I understand why. We've got a lot of quality in there now.
Got a lot of money on that bench as well as on the pitch.
We have,
So
which quite neatly brings us to, as you said at the start of the show, something that I have labelled the final problem. Yes, I am a Sherlock Holmes fan, books and TV show. So that's why I've called it the final problem. But Nathan Broadhead, for me.
Yeah.
Everything.
I put him in my starting 11, I did.
Everything for me is starting to... I said this last week. I said... As fans, I think I said it on the live that we did, I feel like as fans, what we now need to see is improvement. It doesn't have to be winning week in, week out, but what we need to see is we are getting better and we are putting ourselves in positions where we could win games, as opposed to just throwing it away in the second half or, not being consistent enough in our defend. Whatever it might be, we just need to see it's starting to get better. Yeah. And we got that on Saturday in spades, I think. We definitely got that.
Even Arthur improved a bit from QPR.
I disagree with that. I don't think
he
did.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm just trying to be nice.
I know. So the final problem for me now is Nathan Broadhead. Where does he fit in? How do we get him in the team? Now, for me, I think he would be best utilised as a winger out on the left. Problem with that is we don't play with wingers. We use wing backs. That's where our width comes from. You're not converting Nathan Broadhead to a wing back. He's an out and out attacking player. You're not doing that, okay? So then that shuts down that avenue. So he is versatile. He can play in the middle just behind the striker. But that's where Windass is playing at the moment.
And you're not going to... Nah.
As we saw on Saturday, you're not moving him. So this is the final problem. It's the final piece of the puzzle for me, this. Because you've paid a hell of a lot of money for Nathan Broadhead. So Parky must have a plan for him. if he hasn't got a plan for him, why bring him in the first place?
To sell him in January.
But you don't sell somebody in January that you've probably overpaid for. You don't sit him on the bench for 4 months and then say, who wants to pay more? Nobody.
No.
Nobody is doing that. It's mental. So he's got to make him fit in. Now, I think Parky flirted with something in pre-season, and that was a box midfield, which I wanted to talk about a little bit. So just in case anyone doesn't understand what a box midfield is, it is 2 players who sit deep and then 2 players who sit ahead of them, okay?
The shape of a box.
Like the shape of a box, yes. So your 2 defensively minded players would be perhaps someone like Sheaf and Lewis O'Brien, as an example. And then in front of them would be your 2 attack-minded players, Josh Windass, Nathan Broadhead. That creates your box. And then in front of them, you got Kiefer Moore as a lone striker. But Broadhead and Windass would go to support and make up a 2, and the other one would be in behind. One of them 2 would have the ability to drop back further into midfield to create a 3. That's your box midfield. He did experiment with this in pre-season, okay, the tour of Australia and New Zealand. So he's hinted at it in sort of almost cryptically in a few interviews that he's done as well about change of shape. Okay, so that's one option. But what he's actually done is he's played safe for the first sort of 5-6 games. He's gone for the double pivot. The double pivot is 2 central defensive midfielders working in there. And then Lewis O'Brien sort of has been just in front of him. And then either Windass or Broadhead have played just off. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's not a box. That is a very much a double pivot sort of scenario. So it is, for me, the final problem that we need to solve. But I do not have an answer. I don't have an answer. I would love to know what everyone else thinks, but I don't have an answer for this. We will revisit this in the future. I'm just throwing it out there as a... What do you think? Let us know. Where does Nathan Broadhead fit in? Does he fit in? Have we paid all this money for somebody that perhaps...
Just going to keep the bench warm.
Yeah. How do we fix this? And I'd love to hear what people say. For me, I'd love to see us go to a box midfield. I think we've got the players for it. And I think it makes us more attacking, more dangerous. We're already creating chances with the formation we're playing. And I think it makes us a more dangerous proposition going forward. As long as we can make it work defensively as well. Yeah. That's my opinion. But yeah, look, we got 2 games coming up this week. Let's talk about them quickly. Reading? Do you want to do Reading?
I'll do Reading. So it's our third round of the EFL Cup. It's on Tuesday, the 23rd of September. I was going to say February then. And it kicks off at 7:45 at the racecourse. We have not been in the third round of this cup since 81/82 season.
Yeah, no, mad that, no?
We've not been past the third round since the 77/78 season. So Reading are in League One currently. Jack Marriott went over to League One in the summer. They beat Portsmouth 2-1 away in the first round.
Just a quick one on Jack Marriott. He can't play against us. So he's something that's called cup tied. Cup tied means that you play for one club in a specific competition.
Oh, he's already played for us, hasn't he?
He's already played for us in the EFL Cup. So that means for the rest of this season, he is not permitted to play for Reading in the EFL Cup. Sorry to cut across, but there you go.
So yeah, Reading are in League One. They beat Portsmouth 2-1 away in the first round and AFC Wimbledon 2-1 at home in the second round. We've obviously played them twice already when we beat them 3-0 at home.
Last season
in the league.
Yeah.
And losing 2-0 away. They won 2-1 at home to Leyton Orient on Saturday, which is where I said Jack Barrett actually scored a goal.
He did, yeah.
He did. He scored a goal. They're 20th in League One at the moment, on 8 points. They've so far this season they've won 2, they've drawn 2, and they've lost 4.
Predictions?
Do you know what? Because it's a cup game, I'm gonna go. It's really difficult because Reading could bring it on Tuesday.
Yeah, they could.
It's like it's the well-known what's it called?
Giant killer.
Giant killer, that's the word.
It's I'm not sure. We're only one league different. It's not really a giant killing, but yeah.
Okay. So my prediction for this game, I'm going to go flat out 3-0.
Flat out 3-0. Okay, I'll go. I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay.
2-1. Yeah. Okay, 2-1 Wrexham, obviously. Let's talk about Derby County. So it's our 7th league game of the season. It's on Saturday, the 27th of September. Everyone needs to remember it's an early kickoff on Saturday. It's 12:30 UK time. We're at home at the racecourse.
Yeah, I love a home game.
We are still chasing our first home win of the season as well, so it would be very nice to get that on Saturday. Derby were founded in 1884. They finished 19th in the Championship last season on 50 points. This is their second season back in the Championship after being promoted from League One in the 2024, where they'd spent 2 seasons. Prior to that, they'd spent 14 straight seasons in the Championship after they were relegated from the Premier League in 2008. The last meeting with them was the 3-1 defeat in the FA Cup in 2007.
Wowza.
Last league games were in the 81-82 season, where we drew 1-1 at the racecourse and lost 2-1 away. Nicknames the Rams, and they play in white with black shorts. They lost 1-0 at home to Preston on Saturday. They're currently 21st in the Championship on 5 points. They've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 3 this season. They are so they're 3 points. No, they're 2 points behind us at the moment. So they win on Saturday, they go above us. So I think this is a key game for me. Really key game. We've gone away to Norwich. We've got a great 3 points. This is the point where we back it up with our first home win of the season, and we really kick on and push on. And I think 2 wins in a row really does that for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is huge for me. And I sense a big performance on Saturday. And I am going to go for 3-1 Wrexham.
Oh, I've gone 2-1 Wrexham.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the lads, they definitely understand the importance of this, and I think 2 wins in a row would be huge for us. And yeah, I'm backing a big performance on Saturday. Fingers crossed. Anyway.
I'm with you there, lad.
Good. Fancy EFL update. So first is Nick at the moment on 503 points. Joshua is in second on 494. And A. Wilcox is in third place with 489. I've had another absolutely disastrous week. I don't know what I'm doing with it at the moment. Everyone I picked as an absolutely shocking week. But there we go. But yeah, well done to you 3, I suppose. If you'd like to support the show, you can do, and you do that by buying us a coffee. To do that, you visit buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. We'd like to thank Linda this week.
Linda.
Thank you very much, Linda. She left us a message because I put on my Wrexham sweatshirt and cap and watched the second half in the front room. They won. I'm not superstitious, but that might have to be the new thing. Enjoy the rest of your week, and you too, Linda.
Do it, Linda. This Saturday, do it,
Yeah.
and hopefully it will be, if it works, good.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I'll have my lucky pants on, so don't worry. I've got us covered. Look, if
You've got something covered.
Yeah, thank God. Look, if you do want to get in touch with us, you can do so in lots of ways. You can comment on this video, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can click contact the show at the bottom of the description if you're listening to this as a podcast. All the social media, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or email us at me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com. Boom. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. The other one is on Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. If you do want to get on them calls, you go to the Wrexham AFC website, go to the communities tab, scroll to health, and you'll find Dragon Chat in there. Alternatively, the details of how to get on them calls are in the description of this video if you're watching on YouTube, and every video that we ever do on YouTube, you will find it in there. Sorry, I fell apart at the end then. Quiz time. This one is birds, insects, and animals. Okay. We obviously played Norwich on Saturday. Norwich, their nickname is?
The Canaries.
The Canaries. So, I have done a nicknames quiz for people who have birds, insects, or animals as their nickname.
Okay.
I just thought of another way I could have done this quiz, where the answer would be, I tell you a club, and the answer would be bird, insect, animal. That isn't what I've done, but I've just thought of that. No, what I am going to do, I am going to read out. So, do you know what the 92 is? So
92 isn't that how many teams there are in the
yeah,
EFL?
so the
EFL.
No. So the 92 is how many clubs make up the Premier League, Championship, League One, and League Two. Okay.
So the EFL.
No, the EFL is Championship, League One, and League Two.
Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the 90. There are 92 teams in there. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I am going to do is I am going to tell you a nickname. You need to answer to tell me if it is a nickname of one of the 92 or it is not a nickname of one of the 92.
Oh,
okay?
my God.
So what you need to answer to each one of these is nickname, if it is, or not name, if it's not.
Oh, my God.
Okay? Are you ready? There are 10 of these.
Oh, Christ.
Okay? Are you ready? Number 1, the Robins.
Nickname.
Do you want to guess who that is?
Is it Charlton?
It is not. They're the Addicts.
I have no idea.
Okay, there's 3 Robins in the 92.
It used to be us.
It did used to be us. It's not anymore. So there's 3. So, yes, you're right. It is a nickname. Bristol City, Swindon, and Cheltenham are all called the Robins.
Okay.
So there we go. Number 2, the Bees. Nickname or not name?
Nickname.
Nickname? It is a nickname as well. Do you know who it is?
Someone who plays in yellow and black, obviously.
No.
Oh. Brentford.
It is Brentford. Where the hell did that come from? Okay.
It's the bees. It's not bees, buzzy bees. It's the bees for Brentford.
They have got a B on their
right.
logo. So, yeah. Okay, 2 out of 2. Well done so far. Number 3, the Ospreys.
Not name.
Not name?
Because that's a rugby team.
Well done, Siân. It is not name. It is a rugby team. It is. It's a Welsh club rugby team. It is. Yes, well done. Number 4, the Tigers.
That is a nickname.
Do you know who it is?
Hull.
Well done. It is a nickname, and it is Hull.
So excited.
4 out of 4. Well done. You're doing well. Number 5, the Falcons.
Not name, because that is an NFL team or NFL.
Okay. And where is that NFL team from? I know I'm pushing you, but you're doing well this week, so, you know. You don't need it for a point. It's just be good.
It's not Philadelphia because they're the Eagles.
No, you don't have to answer.
Yeah, I can't think.
They're from Atlanta.
I would never have
So
got
it's
that.
the Atlanta Falcons. Beat Vikings last week. Are you interested? No.
Nope.
Okay, so well done. You are 5 out of 5. Weirdly, you just said the Eagles. Number 6 is The Eagles.
Not name.
Not name.
Philadelphia Eagles.
That is a nickname. That is your first incorrect one. That is Crystal Palace's nickname, the Eagles.
God.
They have an eagle on their badge as well.
Egotistical much?
First incorrect one. So you're still doing well.
Yep.
You got 5 out of 6 at the moment. Number 7, the Blue Jays.
Not name.
Not name. It is not name. So they're a baseball team from Toronto.
It's a combination of J from the Blues. They call
Jay from the Blue. What?
Birmingham. They
Oh,
the Blues,
right. I
aren't
get
they?
you. Yeah. Number 8, the Seagulls.
Nickname.
Do you know who it is?
Is it Southampton?
It's not. No, it is a nickname. It's Brighton.
I was just thinking of places by the sea.
Blackpool are either the Tangerines or the Seasiders. Blackpool are, but I understand why you thought maybe that might have been there.
Yeah, Brighton.
Yeah.
Seagulls.
Number 9, the Magpies.
This is a nickname.
Who?
Newcastle United.
And?
Notts County?
Correct. Well done, Siân. You are flying here. It is.
Stop saying it so patronising.
I'm not saying. I'm genuinely saying you're flying.
So
you've got 8 out of 9.
Well done, Siân.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Newcastle, Notts County. Brilliant. Yes. Well done. Well done, Siân. And the last one.
You never call me Siân. I don't like it.
The last one is the Black Cats.
I'm going to say nickname.
Okay. Who do you think it is?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because it's probably not a name.
It is a nickname.
Oh, I got it right.
Yes. It is Premier League team. Do you want to have a crack at it before I reveal it? The Black Cats.
Chelsea.
No.
They've got a black away kit though, haven't they?
Yeah, weirdly it's not somebody who plays in black.
Oh, okay. Fulham, I don't know.
No, it is. That is Sunderland. Sunderland are called the Black Cats.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting one.
How many did I get right?
You got 9 out of 10.
Oh my God!
Fair play. I tell you what tripped you up. It's Rob's stupid Eagles tripped you up, didn't they? See, they're poison. The Eagles. That's why.
Just because you're a Vikings fan.
I am not a Vikings fan. I'm a
Giants
fan. How dare you?
That's how much I care about the NFL.
Yes.
I know, obviously, most of our listeners are American and they love the NFL.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily, but a lot of them do. I couldn't care less.
No.
I don't understand it.
I know.
I don't understand why they've got so many men on the pitch. I just don't understand it.
No, but that's fine. You don't have to understand it. I'm not asking you.
You've got
to
me
understand.
loving football.
We'll move on to
baby steps.
Well, hopefully, when we go to New York in a couple of years, maybe I can get you to a Giants game.
By all means, I'll go. I'll have no idea what's going on.
No, that's fine.
But whatever makes you happy.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. That is officially on camera now as well. Look,
whatever.
Thank you very much for joining us this week. If you missed it, we are now doing our lives slightly differently. So when we've got a home game, we'll obviously be at all of the home games. When we go to an away game, all of them lives will be exactly the same because we're at the game, so we're just going to do our live in exactly the same way. When we're not at a game, an away game, we're going to be in the studio like we did on the weekend. So we'd love you to join us for that. We enjoyed it so much more doing it in the studio, didn't we? It was really good. We got lots of people joined us, lots of people commented. We loved it. So next away game that we're not going to, which is going to be October now, we will still be doing a live, and it'll be from the studio. So we'd love you to join us for that. Look, enjoy your week, everyone, and we'll catch you next Saturday at 11:30 for our live outside the racecourse before we face Derby. Until then, see you soon.